Next up, this one. Tell me that please tell me you guys are Rock Band fans.
I was a big Guitar Hero guy in college, so I'm stoked to see sort of musically oriented games with the guitars and the drums sort of make a comeback, if that's the case.
Naomi, tell me you love Rock Band.
I also was a Guitar Hero lover.
But not Rock Band? But wait, Guitar Hero full band Guitar Hero or Guitar Hero
Nope.
Guitar Hero Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero and the full band.
You cannot convince me. I am a big I don't like peripherals. Like if I have to buy peripherals for things,
that was the one game I did it for.
Big tough sell for me. Like I bought Guitar Hero 3 and that one guitar. And then the rest of the time I played my buddies. They were all into Rock Band, so I used their stuff. So I played it, liked it. Never would have considered myself a big Rock Band guy.
Interesting.
See, I bought the bongos for Donkey Kong, so what?
So the drums? You don't like the Rock Band?
The drums are
too
so
hard.
cool.
They're the best. They're too hard.
No,
I cannot figure it out.
I started
different skills.
I started. Never sat down in front of any drum anything in my entire life when Rock Band came out.
And you were like, "This is exactly what I imagined it was like."
I started with I didn't even know the pro tip of keep your foot down rather than just keep it arched and keep your foot pressed down parallel to the floor at all times and then pick it up and stomp when you need it. I started on easy with that game and worked my way up, and now I can play hard on a lot of songs and expert on some of the easier ones.
We need to do a Let's Play of
that.
that.
Self-made man.
Drums is the best. But so where I'm going with this is our friends at Harmonix. They are gauging interest. Are they testing the waters to see if the time is right
to make a comeback
for a new Rock Band? So we had the immediate thing with this is there is a survey that was online. I'm not sure if it still is. I tweeted it out earlier this week. It was a survey of gauging people's interests in a new Rock Band. It's, sort of a bunch of questions of how often do you still play? If we made a new one, should it be a new game for 360? Should it be a new game on the new consoles? Should it, how often do you buy DLC? So sort of these just little probing questions. Mm-hmm. So, and then there were Alex Rogopoulos, one of the co-founders of Harmonix, has given a couple of interviews in the last 6 months or so, if that, where he said, "Yeah, we want to do it. We're just waiting for the right time." So, what do you guys think? Is the time right for Rock Band to return? Sean,
I'm going to go ahead and say
no.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have the greatest insight to these games because I was never really a huge fan of them, but they dropped off there hugely in 1 year. There was a while where Guitar Heroes and Rock Bands released every year, and every year it killed in sales. And then the year after that, it just dropped, and no one was interested in it. And I think it's because the sales sort of
Activision killed it because they released literally a game every 3 months.
Yeah. That, and also you could
Van Halen, Metallica, greatest hits, this one, that one.
All
so
the
many of the
band
peripherals
ones,
also weren't compatible with the other games. You had to keep buying new ones, and that, again, you had a hard time selling me on just buying one peripheral as is. If I have to buy multiple ones for each iteration of the game, no, that won't work. And I think you really saw the sales kind of reflect that, and in such a short time period. You haven't really seen other games like that have such monumental success in the industry fall off so quickly.
It is true. It is kind of an unprecedented rise and fall.
Yeah, it happens so quickly. And I don't know if we're out of that period yet where people are willing to forget that that's what it was like before.
Okay.
Not only that, but have to buy new peripherals for the new consoles if that's what they decide.
So that was on the survey. It said, "Hey, would you want us to make new ones or make the old ones compatible?" So that's I want to go to Naomi now.
Yeah.
Naomi, is the time right for Rock Band to return?
So Sean's very convincing in the way that he said it, but I feel like if they could make it compatible with the older peripherals, it would just make me maybe want to go and play it. Or something, if Guitar Hero even did that. But I think definitely it would take some convincing because I almost feel like people aren't in the next gen yet or in the new gen yet. They're not established enough. They need a bit more time to get used to the console or get the consoles to where they need to be, and then we can start exploring these different types of games.
Rock Band. All right, I have a suggestion for a name. If anybody for Harmonix
Oh
is
my
listening, this
God.
one's free. Rock Band Reunion.
Oh, the reunion tour. I love
Eh?
it. Yeah.
Eh?
Bam, that's a free one.
The
So-
band's coming back.
If Rock Band Reunion gets announced tomorrow for a holiday for a holiday 2015 release, Finnegan, you are not in.
Yep. Count me out.
Naomi, are you in?
If it was to buy as a present for somebody, then I'd be in. But I
So
don't know if
you're
I would
not
get
in.
it for myself. Is the
All
thing.
right,
Right now,
So
I'm
no is the answer.
yeah, pretty much.
What I'm hearing is, it sounds like it needs to be compatible with the old gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And,
that's
which
the
I
immediate
agree.
thing.
I completely
was
agree
like,
with, by the way.
You also wrote it down here, like, you have to have a killer soundtrack. Like, killer, and I mean killer as in
not
break
the
out the lead.
killers.
No,
Oh
because
yeah.
they've
Break out the lead.
who haven't they done yet, right?
Yeah.
Between we're 3 Rock Band games plus they got the friggin' Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did Beatles Rock Band.
It's hard to beat now.
Who hasn't been done, and it's
Led Zeppelin, the greatest of all time. That's the thing, is like, if you, it's a tough sell. I've said this already, but if you paired it with accessibility with peripherals on 360 or PS3, I would call it last gen, where the install base is big. This is not a game to me that screams it needs to be on next gen.
I agree.
Then you may have your interest there, because like Naomi pointed out, there are a lot of people out there who are perfectly fine with their PS3 and 360. This could be a last great hurrah for sort of them as well, and it could provide them with some great long sort of entertainment until they are ready to jump to the new console
I think
generation.
wait until new gen, if anything, for that.
So, yeah.
See, but I don't know if like you would want to do that. If you were Harmonix, wouldn't it be the
You
better
have to be able to
business
start
decision?
over.
Yeah, you can't. You would have to exactly.
As far
you would have
as
to build it
from,
the ground
a
up.
game development perspective, I think you've got to find a way. I think if this happens, they've got to find a way to make the instruments compatible for exactly the reasons you're saying. Because I don't think anybody's going to want to go out and buy a $200 band kit ever again.
Yep.
Right.
So, especially if they've already bought one last gen. Make the instruments compatible. So, if I were doing it, make the instruments compatible, but still offer new ones that are somehow new and cool and take advantage of, some sort of new technology, be it within the consoles themselves,
Sure.
or maybe Kinect and the PlayStation Eye can
That's
read
cool.
something on them
To make it even more precise.
to either precision or
'Cause the
do
buttons,
some
I
sort
feel,
of
are
stage
needed.
move,
Yeah,
or
a stage move would work.
That's cool. Like if you can integrate sort of using the PlayStation Eye or the Kinect, like your avatar that it's seeing sort of imprinted into the game, that could be really cool. You could get some new functionality, some really cool sort of integration that way. Something new would be the only way that you could sell that. Otherwise, put it on 360, put it on PS3, where your install base is a lot bigger.
I know when I would play with my friends, you get into the music and you would do your own kind of little stage moves. You might like drop a Pete Townsend windmill,
Be your own rock star, yeah.
Yeah, or you're kind of bobbing your head. And what if Kinect is
Could pick
reading
up
that
on that.
and translating that to your character in the game? So your character in the game, as he's playing, is doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That could be cool.
Kind of a Just Dance type thing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? I mean, they've done it with Dance Central. Combine the powers, but yeah. So instrument compatibility from last gen, and they've got to figure out a way. I know there's all sorts of music licensing deals that makes it just a minefield of red tape and whatnot. But if they can find a way to make the DLC you've already bought compatible with a new game, that would be huge. It's like, we're doing a new Rock Band for the new generation of consoles, and everything you already have works. So it's like on day one you can play thousands of songs, but we're also doing this new thing, and we got Led friggin' Zeppelin.
That would be sick.
That would be really cool.
But again,
Stairway to Heaven, baby.
I don't think you're going to get Led Zeppelin. I don't think
No.
any of these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Wow, you are really down on this.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I think
it's a
your
tough sell.
100% approval rating amongst the Podcast Unlocked audience just took its first hit.
Oh.
that is probably true. I'm not a Rock Band hater. I just don't think it's very realistic. Like I said, I still think we're within that sort of time frame where people aren't ready to forgive
You make
how
a good
it used
point.
to be.
You make a good point. So, because I believe Rock Band 3, if I remember correctly, I want to say 2011.
Yeah, I was going to say
It's
2012,
really soon.
and that was a guess.
We'll look it up here in a minute, but
or
Yeah, so
someone
you're
will leave it in the
talking
comments.
you're talking less than 5 years. Do you need
Yeah.
like a 5-year window for you?
For something like that, yeah, definitely. Like,
'Cause-
that is not the gaming experience that I want. You know, like, I am very much of the mindset that if I'm going to pay $60, that should include a very complete game that's going to give me many hours of gameplay, and I don't have to buy a lot of other things. Like,
But if you had kids.
but I don't, so irrelevant.
But I mean, you make a great point about it hasn't been long enough yet for that sort of, because you're burned. What you're saying is you're burned out.
Yeah, totally.
Because the genre burned itself out. I mean, largely Activision. You know, Harmonix had a few releases themselves, but certainly Activision was the one that was really pumping it out with Guitar Hero. But you make a good point with the burnout. But I would also argue that we're on new consoles. We want things we know we like, because everybody's just buying. Whether it's everybody's buying remasters of old games, whether it's Master
Very
Chief Collection,
true.
people
trend.
seem to be craving that familiarity, but in 1080p.
You have an argument there. I think you're right. I may be a little bit more on the negative side for this one, just because of my sort of experience with it. But you're right. Like,
Point on the doll where the Rock Band hurt you, Sean.
everywhere, man.
This just got
Right here in my
weird.
head. I don't like being nickel and dimed, and that's the way I perceive it when I have to buy, like, you know, like it's $10 for a new 15 songs. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like to do that.
Kind of the Skylanders.
Naomi,
type.
all right, it's just me and you talking right
Okay.
now. I think his problem.
Am I getting
think
kicked
there
out of the
might-
band?
yeah.
I think his problem. If he just would play the drums, he would
Right.
understand.
If he actually had some musical
how
inclination.
great.
I'm a front man
I know,
when it
it'd
comes
be
to bands.
perfect.
You're a singer.
Lead singer or lead guitarist.
I
That's
need.
all I
yeah,
want.
I need
sing
a
for
lead
us, why
singer
don't
in
ya?
my
No, never.
in my Rock Band band.
Yeah, I can be your
Well,
backup.
good. What's your favorite song to sing in Rock Band?
Oh God, Rock Band. I don't remember the soundtrack. Reptilia, Strokes was my big
Nice.
go-to.
Oh yeah.
Strong
Big
call.
Strokes guy. Love Reptilia. That's the one I remember singing the most back in the day.
God,
Can't argue
I'm
with
trying to
that.
remember now.
Yeah, I can't really remember the soundtrack either. I played
It
a lot of it
actually
in
helped me
college,
discover
but-
a lot of music that I had.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, it was
that's
great for
actually-
that.
That's one of the great things about Rock Band is it does actually legitimately foster an interest in music.
I
which
bought
is
a lot of
great.
music because of Rock
Me
Band.
too.
Totally.
Yeah.
If they had a killer soundtrack, you may have a better time selling me on it. But as is,
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see. I hope it's happening. I mean, they definitely seem to be sniffing around over there at Harmonix.
Just
so.
give me amplitude, man. Already. That's really what I
The
want.
people have spoken.
We shall see.